Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the morning program, The Dailies on Equa Television Africa, where we look at various stories that are trending on our Nigerian newspaper and also the world of sports and also business. I'm Sela Elisha Dasham, and I have with me Tosin Owolabi.
Good morning, Sela.
Morning, Tosin. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you so much, and we really want to use this opportunity to appreciate all our viewers for all those that send their condolence messages during the demise of our beloved sister, late Joyce Yakwari, and also we really want to say a very big thank you to your messages, your words of encouragement for those who were able to make it through her burial, and also we truly want to appreciate the love was massive. We really want to appreciate you all from within the country and outside the shores of Nigeria. In fact, they actually received messages, condolences, actually saying how much Joyce has touched the life of people. Her programs, especially on the dailies, she has always been part of the dailies with us here, and also we really want to really appreciate our viewers, and we just hope that you keep sending us your love, and also we really want to appreciate you. And we're also having we're having that love in our hearts, knowing the fact that people out there really reach out to us and also made us feel loved and wanted during a time like this. So we're truly grateful. And let's try to look at some of the stories that are actually trending on our papers this morning. And I would like to start with the New Telegraph newspaper, and we have CBN wants ban customers against illegal forex deals. The writer following that says rising interest rate to 14%, disburse 20 billion naira rebates to non-oil exporters. You can read the continuation of that story on page 4. Sanctions NCC record 100 billion naira drop in revenue, and detail of that can be found also on page 25. Missing crook, federal government secured $1.7 billion arbitral award. This is coming from NIMISA, and detail of that story can be found on page 7 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Why prison inmates may not vote in 2023. This is coming from INEC, says it delivered in Ekiti and Osun polls. You can read more detail of why the inmates may not actually vote during the 2023 election. Detail of that can be found on page 6 and 8. Other stories here, we have Sanwo-Olu police reserve better training. I take that story again. Sanwo-Olu police deserve better training and funding, with detail on page 6. The big story on New Telegraph says Buhari orders minister address ASU, orders strikes within 2 weeks. With the rider, the union blames Ngige for prolonged strike as NAS backs the Labour Congress set to join the protest, with detail on page 3 and 7. And the issue of ASU has been coming on and off on our papers, especially looking at even from last week and Wednesday, where we actually look at Buhari engaging ASU, that he's giving them, at least after spending almost 5 months, and he has actually given some time frame that schools should open up. But here we're seeing ASU saying that the ministers have been very reluctant. And I remember we've asked several questions here on the dailies concerning the fact that where is the Minister of Education in all of this, because this is his unit, this is his sector, and he's supposed to oversee things that are here. But most time we've only seen, most of the time, the negotiation is between the Minister of Labour and Employment and ASU. And here ASU have even categorically stated the fact that they are not going to suspend this strike if all their demands are not being met. And those, we've gone through the demands over and over, the change of their payment schedule, or possibly their payroll. Thank you so much. They have to change their payment rules from the EPPIS to UTAS. They also the fact that JAMB should no longer take giving of admission should go to ASU and not JAM, and so many other, looking at the agreement that they had since 2009 till date. So we know that these have been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and already the president is giving 2 weeks. And we know where there was, even in the papers, there was a time where we were asked that or people have come out to agitate the fact that the president should be fully involved. And I remember you giving stating out that what difference would it make if the president is involved, and that's why he asked his ministers to be there, because he can't be everywhere. So we just hope with these 2 weeks that is being given, something will be done, that they will be on their toe. The Minister of Employment and Labor and also the Minister of Education put their heads together and see what can be done. People have come out to say that if over 100 million can be used to buy just a presidential form, they are not even sure that at the end of the day you actually win that that position. Why can't we put all this money together and make sure that we meet the demand of us, so that students will be in school? We can see the various elections that took place in various states, and already in the paper still this morning we had where over 10 policemen were being kidnapped during the last poll election, which was on Saturday. Now you see that there are so many things why, and if you actually check, it's as a result of these youths being it's either it's because they're being idle, nothing to do, and they have become so open to be used as talks for various things. So we just hope that more will be done. We should not just look at this strike as it's just the educational sector. We stated every moment we talk about us with the fact that education is the bedrock of any nation. So we just hope that the minister will actually put their heads together, do all that is needed, because we need the classrooms to be open.
Yes, the need for this, the issue of ASU and even the federal government cannot be overemphasized. We need to keep on talking about this, because students have been at home. This is the 5th month of students being at home. That's why the fact that Mr. President have given 2 weeks ultimatum for this strike to be called off, for students to go back to school. But we need to talk about funding the educational sector, because believe you me, our educational sector in this country is at the bench of collapsing, if not collapsing, because we see that even the infrastructure is nothing to write home about. We see down from the nursery schools, our public schools, from the nursery down to the university, we see scenarios where students are resorted to even sitting on the floor because there are no infrastructure, there are no structures for them to have a conducive learning environment. And this has grown down to our university, where we see the incessant strike, they keep on going on strike, like is on a yearly basis. Schools have to go on strike, and we see where our political holders, we see where their children graduate from foreign universities and they go there, they celebrate, and you see people backlashing them. We saw the last one, which happened between Wike, where his son graduated from a university abroad, and he was backlashed because when our school, even in the country, our educational sector in the country is collapsing, and you sent your children there. This shows that you don't even believe in the educational sector of our country. And what were the promises you gave? What are the things you are putting together? What is the thing you are doing with your cabinet members in seeing that the educational sector of our country, and even in the different states, are thriving? Because we see that even in states, you see where students cannot afford to pay for their jam fee, they stay at home, and we see where children are hawking, and that results to the kind of violence against children. You see where children are being raped, children are being killed, used for rituals, so many things. So looking at the educational sector, we cannot overemphasize the need for the improvement in our education and also the funding of the educational sector, because what is the importance of our school going back running in system where the lecturers are not receiving their salaries? So these are all the things that this people are agitating for, looking at for their payment. Like since 2019, we see that some have not received their arrears, some the payment is not coming as it's supposed to be. So we just look out that all this should be put in place. Even while Mr. President is giving ultimatum of 2 weeks, he should put in place, put his hand on deck, and see that everything, all the things that these people are agitating for are put together, so that when they resume school and when the students go back to school and when these lecturers commence lecture, everything that they've agitated for will come in place. So look out for ways we can settle all this issue, so that we will not have back and forth on ASU any longer, back and forth on our educational sector collapsing or going on strike any longer.
Thank you so much, Tosi. Let's look at other stories still trending on the New Telegraph newspaper. Kaduna now dangerous for Christians, says Khan, as terrorists kill abducted Catholic priests. We are collaborating with security agency to neutralize threat. This is coming from the Kaduna Security Agency. Well, we hope that more will be done. And to know more about that story, you can check page 7 and also page 31 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Airline passengers to pay more as operators plan 40% fuel surcharge. With the rider grown, shade fan over runaway closure, carriers' operational costs hit 130%, 100 passengers on halt as Dana makes emergency landing. We're truly grateful that they were able to land safely. You can read more of that story on page 3 and 7. Ipman Moman unaware of petrol price hike. Well, we hope that the agency involved in that will actually check more into why there's a hike in the price of petrol in the market. NNPC goes commercial as federal government privatized unveils new logo to increase sales outlets to 1,500 in 6 months. 200 million Nigerians will benefit from NNPC Limited. 15 trillion naira assets. This is coming from Buhari. And federal government have lost $50 billion investment before the PIA. This is coming from Silver. Well, we hope that Nigerians will truly, benefit from it, because we don't want it to be the case of when it was NEPA before it was changed. And, right now it's as if we are going through more electricity shortage. It was before, because people maybe we should go back to when it was NEPA, when actually it was the government that was actually superseding all these things. Now we can see that if NNPC have gone privatized, so I just hope that the Nigerian, the common man out there will benefit from it. It will not be just for few among the majority that will actually benefit from it, but that everyone will be able to benefit. And I hope too we'll look into our refineries that are dead will do something about it. We're seeing that we're still losing more money when it comes to illegal refineries and here and there. Also, there are issues that we really need talking about. The fuel subsidy we still pay. So I just hope that with this now, more will be done to see how we can actually look into, refining our own crude oil here in the shores of Nigeria.
So the truth is that before people can benefit from this NNPC that have been changed to now a limited company and even privatized, it has to be run efficiently. Because if it's not run efficiently, people cannot benefit from it. You gave an example of the NEPA. Now the NEPA when it was privatized, and now we see that the issue we are having with our NEPA, even with electricity blackouts even in the country. But all the sector, privatizing it or not, it needs to be run efficiently, because if it's not run efficiently, we are still going back to where we were before. So we need to put people that will supersede this sector, people that will supersede this office, and see that everything is put in place for people to benefit from it. We know the present problem we are going through, the ongoing challenges motorists are going through, even people are going through because of the lack of petrol even in the filling station, and the prices being increased. We see where the pump price have been increased, the prices have been increased, and it's affecting almost everything in our country. So if this sector is run efficiently, then people will benefit from it. But if there's mismanagement in it, if greed and selfishness is put in place in this sector, then people will suffer from it. But we just hope that the right people that will run this place efficiently, run this office efficiently, and also give account of every fund that is disbursed and every fund that is being used, then I see us going into a better place with this NNPC being privatized into a limited company.
Thank you so much, Rosie. And the last one here is a study: AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine 73% more effective. You can read more of that in page 8, and that's all on New Telegraph.
And I'll run through the National Economy newspaper. We have rising inflation responsible for rate tightening policy stance. And this is from Emefiele, as NPC hikes interest rate to 14%. New NNPC must be run efficiently to succeed, and this is coming from stakeholders. Company opening new vintages for partnership, and this is also from the federal government. Federal government bows to pressure as marketers increase petrol pump price. And Nigeria must maximize the World Trade Organization fisheries subsidies local vaccine production agreement. This is from our very own Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. TOC calls for general review of salary, retirement age of civil servants, with details in page 5. And that's all on the national economy.
Thank you, Tosin. Let's take a look at this day newspaper. Fighting inflation, CBN rises interest rate. And we have the writer following that story. MPR now 14%. Says monetary tightening may continue if consumer price index rise further. To disburse 20 billion naira as rebate to exporters for the RT200. Detail can be found on page 10 of this day newspaper. Masari, police still hunting for terrorists to ban in Zamfara. Detail can be found on page 43. And Obasike said, with Oshun now in back, 2023 presidency is PDP's to lose. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed concerning that story. You can read more of that on page 23. And this story, which is it tends to be running on most of the papers this morning, President gives minister 2-week ultimatum to resolve ASU strike. With the rider, varsity unions recommend use of stamp duty, GSM, alcoholic tax to fund education. We won't accept disparity in salary, SANU wants the federal government. University workers express divergent views over Ngigi's role in dispute resolution. Detail can be found on page 10. After 44 years of birthing the old NNPC, Buhari unveils the new NNPC Limited. And Silva say historically unveiling gave me goosebumps. Well, we hope that the goosebumps are for good. Kyari says no more monthly FAAC remittance. And we have with the net asset of $60 billion, new company moves to grow retail outlets from 547 to 1,500 in 6 months. This is coming from the NNPC. And we have the picture story here where President Muhammadu Buhari was unveiling the NNPC Limited. So you can read more of that from this day newspaper. And that's all on this day newspaper.
On the Voice of Liberty, NNPC officially transits to commercial entity, unveils new logo. And on internal security, government security agencies have failed to secure Nigerians. This is coming from Masari. And INEC have this to say on 2023 double nomination forms. Akpabio, Tambuwal, others risk jail terms. On Muslim ticket, Governor El Rufai angry with Tinubu over choice of running mate. And this is from sources saying a crisis allegedly brewing in the ruling All Progressive Congress over its presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu picking of Kashim Shettima, the former Borno State governor, as his running mate. Concerned Nigerians urge US, UK to intervene in Nigeria's worsening insecurity. And we saw where stakeholders even in the US and even in the UK wanted to intervene, and what our minister came to them and told them that we are not going through any issue of insecurity in our country. But I would say it is obvious, it is clear what is happening. We see the worsening insecurity where people cannot move any longer. And we saw what happened over the weekend where the terrorists were being turbaned in Zamfara. I would like to say, is it based on the fact that these people are under siege? Because we know that in there some localities, some communities where they are under hostage by this terrorist group, and this terrorist, we have to liaise with this terrorist group before they can do anything. Will I say that they are under siege or they're under hostage in the hands of this terrorist group? That led to the extent that where a kingpin and even a terrorist was being turbaned in Zamfara. And still in this Zamfara, we saw where 69 hospitals clinics have been converted to houses by the same people. And this Zamfara state, we have a governor in Zamfara state. We need people to do something about it. We need people to be proactive about this issue of insecurity. We need people to know, to understand that the lives and properties of people people is paramount, and that is why they are assigned to govern such places. Same in this same Zamfara state, we have governor, we have commissioners. Even in this Zamfara state, something needs to be done about it. We have local government chairman, and we see this local government that have been taken hostage by these people. We have a chairman for such local government, so they should do something about it and look out for ways peace can be restored to that community. Because believe you me, these people are not moving freely. They're not doing anything freely, because you have to go through all this terrorist group, you have to go through this leader of this terrorist group. But it's a good thing that the government is launching a manhunt to get this man that was being turbaned. Something needs to be done about this issue of insecurity. Just look at these people that were abducted in the Kaduna train attack. Today is making the 114 days that they have been in this den of kidnappers, and we see that whenever these people are in need of money, they come out and demand for a large amount of money from family members just for some people to be released, even among people that have been kidnapped. We just need something to be done about this issue of insecurity. Even as we look into ASU, the calling off of this strike, we should also look into security, looking out for ways we can restore peace and security back. Just last week in my community, we saw where a man was being abducted on his way to work. So we see all these things happening. Just again, even on the plateau in the community, we saw where two children were abducted. So issue of abduction is on the rampant. We need to do something about this issue of insecurity even in our country before it takes a different turn on us generally. Still on the Voice of Liberty, we have Buhari gives education minister 2 weeks to end ASU strike. On 2023, Shetima to be unveiled as Tinubu's running mate today. And from Kaduna State, we have government beef up security over terrorist plan to attack state. And it's really good where the government is beefing up security, tightening the security, because when you know that before these people launch an attack, they give an update prior to when they will launch an attack. So it's good that the government is beefing up security to attack these people, but we should not just relax, because they might say I'm coming today, and when they know that the security is being tightened, then they relax and come out and get people unaware. So we should need to be proactive on this issue. Then we should not just wait when we receive the threat that they are going to attack our security. Even in the 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, need to be tightened, because we need to kick against this issue of insecurity and fish these people one by one, and they should face the full wrath of the law. That's all on the Voice of Liberty.
Let's take a look at the Daily Trust newspaper reactions as Buhari unveils the new NNPC with detail on page 27. And on 2023, elections will be best ever in Nigerians' history. This is coming from Professor Yakubu, and we actually hope that will be. And inflation, CBN warns of further tightening hike interest rates to 14%. The big story that is making the round on all our papers: federal government has to disagree as Buhari directs end to strike in 2 weeks. We won't sit with Labour minister. This is coming from the union. And Labour Congress continues mobilization for protests. We won't accept disparity in varsity workers' salaries. This is coming from the Senior Association of the Nigerian University. Kidnap Kaduna Catholic priest, 5 villagers have been killed. Naira falls to 630 naira per dollar at the parallel market. ISWAP releases Eid celebration video, vows more jail attacks. Well, I hope that we'll not just take this to be a mere threat, but we should take this threat seriously, because we do not know the next prison attack that they will actually launch an attack on. So we just hope that the security agency will be on their toe. Talking about even the prison workers will be on their toe. They should make sure they check the inmates properly, so that we don't end up hearing that there was an outbreak, there was a bomb blast or anything of that form. So we hope that once bitten, twice shy. And of the picture stories that is of interest to you.
And on the Daily Sun, Awomama killings, youth barricade Owerri Onisha Road as a mass-up calls for disbandment of Ububuagu as victims are bandits, Uzodinma insist. On the Daily Sun, 5 Abia Traffic Agency officials arraigned for pushing girl out of moving vehicle. NNPC transit to full commercial entity. Buhari gives assurance of global best practice. Fuel outlets to hit 1,500 in 6 months, pledges Kyari. Oshibanjo making steady progress, starts walking, and this is a report from the doctors concerning the surgery he underwent. APC unveils Tinubu's running mate Shetima today. His choice not to ignore religious concerns. This is from the campaign directors. Uproar in custom over promotion. Officers earlier promoted in 2009-2010 to ASC without execution petition. This is still from the Senate. And still on 2023, INEC will deliver best ever election. This is from the chairman, Yakubu, says commission committed to clean polls. CBN hikes MPR rate to 14%, hints at further tightening to tame inflation. Adeboye denies endorsing Tinubu stand by Khan's directive as youth mobilize against the Muslim ticket. The last story on insecurity, governments have failed Nigerians. This is from Masari with details in page 26. And obviously, governments have failed Nigerians. Governments have failed everyone in terms of insecurity, in terms of job opportunity, in terms of the educational sector, in terms of the health sector, and even in the aviation sector. Sele, believe you me, in all sectors, the government have failed us. But we need them to do something to reverse this issue people are going through. And this also lies down to the forthcoming election for 2023. People need to choose wisely. Your vote and my vote is very important. We need to choose wisely and choose the right person who represent us even in our country and make Nigeria the future and also the country we all promise.
It's for our callers, and you can call us and let us know what your feels are, what your views are concerning the stories we have been looking at this morning. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, it's still the Dailies on Echo Television Africa. I'm Seda Elisha Dasham and Owolabi Tosin have been doing this with me. Thank you, Tosin. And we've been looking at various stories that have been trending on our papers, from the unveiling of NNPC Limited and to the 2-week ultimatum that have been given to the ministers to call off the strike and also to ASU. And right at this moment, our phone numbers are displayed on your screen. Please do well to call us and let us know what your feels are, what your views are, what do you feel is the way forward, and also the comment that was given by the INEC chairman concerning 2023 to be the best ever. Do you truly think that that election will be the best ever? Well, we want to hear from you what you feel about it and also the way forward for Nigeria. Right at this moment, I'll be moving on with the Guardian newspaper. Local airlines seek 40% fuel surcharge waiver as Jet A1 hits 822 naira per litre. And this is truly what we're talking about, failing Nigerians. We hope that with this NNPC Limited, all this will be checked. ASU knocks Buhari for ordering minister to end varsity strikes in 2 weeks, with detail on page 3. And we have gunmen kidnap Alu Akale farm supervisor in Oshomosu, demand 100 million naira in ransom. Uproar over killing of 14 Imo youths in Awu Omama. And you can read detail of that on page 12. And this is really a sad one where we see youths are being killed. It's really pain me when we see, issues like this on our papers. Each time we record one killing after another. If we're not talking about killing of a priest, we're talking about killing of youth. We're talking about wiping a community. And it's really a sad one, just like you said, various parts of the country. there's always one issue after another. We hope that we're not just telling the government to do something about it, but we hope that they won't just hear us. But with many people, expert, security agency, people have come out, intelligence have come up with what we can do to make sure that we look into this issue. We've talked about using of all these digital technologies that we have, because we can't keep operating the same way we've been operating before and we expect a different result. We have to try something different. We need to outsmart these people. I mean, take a look at our security agency. You can't tell us these terrorists are wiser or smarter than they are. Of course not. So I believe that the government will use all that they have within their means to make sure that we curtail all this and will stop recording such deaths again. The big story here say high-low expectations as Buhari unveils the new NNPC. We will end the energy poverty losses, says Kyari. Why NNPC may remain loose-making company despite transition. This is coming from experts. Reluctant staff, political will, harsh environment clouds Buhari stakeholders' expectation. Transitioning a mere name change, says Fatu Timi. The former LCCI boss insists a new Almacon may emerge. Adesani says subsidy liabilities frontiers exploration may impact cash flow. OPS backed hike as oil marketers comply with NNPC directive. Rise petrol price from 179 naira per litre. Hello, we have a caller. Fidelis from Cross River. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Fidelis. Please go on. We can hear you.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning, Fidelis.
Please, I thought to sympathize with the equity over the death of their colleague.
Thank you so much. Hello,
Miss
Fidelis.
Joy.
Yes, sir.
What really happened is
okay, Mr. Fidelis, well, you could just watch till the end of the show. Will enlighten you detail about what actually happened. Thank you so much for your condolences. We really appreciate it, and may the Lord bless you. So, looking at the Guardian newspaper, we have MPC unveil Shaitima as the let me take that story again. APC unveils Shaitima as Tinubu's running mate despite opposition, with detail found on page 6. NMA lament mass exodus of doctors, health workers from Ondo. Well, no wonder with the way the health sector is becoming, we're having exodus of doctors leaving. If they are not leaving the government hospitals, it's either they are leaving the shores of Nigeria. So I hope we'll do more about it. Just like you said, it's not about the educational sector or the aviation sector, but also we need to look at the health sector. It's really a sector that needs so much attention, and even the welfare of our doctors really need to be looked into also. And that's all on the Guardian newspaper.
On the Vanguard newspaper, we have airline operators demand immediate removal of 5% fuel surcharge. NNPC Limited would guarantee Nigerians energy security, says Buhari. And on the state of the nation, Nigeria has never been this bad. This is from Obong Atta. CBN tackles rising inflation, raises MPR again to 14%. And Buhari gives Adamu 2 weeks to resolve varsities union strike. The rider says directive doesn't mean government seriousness. This is from ASU. And parents saying it's a welcome relief. NLC is saying we want its resolution even in 24 hours. Federal government have done everything possible to assuage ASU, and this is from source. Explains why lecturers refuse to accept IPPIS, says many lecturers' children studying in private varsities overseas. Counters out of strike, breakaway ASU's faction, Konwa declares. Vote buying, INEC proposes life ban for guilty politicians and parties. Kidnapped Kaduna Catholic priest killed, others escaped.
Sorry, I have to cut you short to see. Hello, Felix from Kaduna. Good morning.
Hello?
Hello, you can go on, please. We can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Fine. I just want to comment on the ASU strike.
Okay.
And the ASU strike, bothered, where was the president all the while? And where is the Minister for Education for all this while? And is it now that he is given a mandate for 2 weeks? That shows how incompetent he is in leadership.
Hello, Felix. Are you still there?
Thank you.
Okay.
I think Mr. Felix is done with his comment. He said, is it now, is the president aware about the ASU strike, showing how incompetent he is? And I would like to say, what about the Minister of Education, even with the back and forth from the ASU and even federal government giving ultimatum, he's yet to say anything concerning this ASU. When he came out, he said he was not even aware of this ASU strike. The next meeting they had with him, he walked out of these people. So we need all these people who are superseding all these sectors to be competent and to look out for ways the strike can be resolved.
Okay, so we have another caller. Hello, Shamal. Go on, please.
Morning, my sister. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Shamal.
Hossein and Sele. First and foremost, I want to condole the issue over the demise of our sister, Joyce E.
Thank you.
Very humble and respected lady. A lot of comfort in her family, a lot of comfort, especially the church. Our others together with her. May that she rests in peace.
Amen.
Coming to think of what's happening in Nigeria, honestly speaking, I think we don't have a president. Until when things get bad, until when things get sour, until when things get so unpalatable, before the government they will say something, especially the president, even standing other most times. It doesn't really make sense. It won't even work on it. The government is pretty at this point. Clergymen are being students. They have bishops are changed all the time. They have pastors all the time. What are you doing to this? I say that God will come to this Christians in Nigeria. They are passing. This is what they are doing. If they come with an end, if I will start, the God of providence will try back. And we have something to back.
Thank you so much, Shamal, for that very, meaningful contribution. And we hope that the right authorities actually listening and will be able to do the right thing at the right time and not wait for when things are out of hand.
Yes, Leon, still on the Vanguard, kidnapped Kaduna Catholic priest, killed. Others escapes as gunmen kidnap traditional ruler in Buhari, Abuja. Government security agencies have failed to secure Nigerians, and this is coming from Governor Bello Masari. Food price inflation may drive more Nigerians into poverty. Federal government raises alarm. APC unveils...
Sorry to have to cut you short. Hello, we have a caller from Port. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, please.
Yeah, my area of interest is APC revealing Shetima as running mate to Tinubu.
Okay, go on.
They say it is becoming something else. It has never happened like this before. And I urge all the Christians to take a step, and they should know that this amass this country by force. So Christians should stand up and cast their vote and make their choice right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that beautiful contribution coming from Port Harcourt.
On food price inflation may drive more Nigerians into poverty. Federal government raises alarm. APC unveils vice presidential candidates today. And the last story on the Vanguard says cholera outbreak kills 5 in Kano. And that's all on the Vanguard newspaper.
Well, let's take a look at the Street Crew report. Oil theft. NIMISA deploys special mission aircraft with detail on page 2. And we also have oil market walking tightrope due to economic supply risks. Hello. Okay, hello, Mr. Charles from Boko. Good morning.
Hello?
We can hear you. Please move away from your TV set.
Hello?
Okay, I hope you call us back before the end of the show, Mr. Charles. Still on Sweet Crew reports, we have IOC illegal stavering operations cost Nigerian billions of naira. And we have NIBSA attack $1 billion investment to Niger State. You can read detail of that from the Sweet Crew report. Tosi, I'm done.
On the Nigerian News Direct, EFCC officer threatened me to indict Jonathan Adoke, witness tells court. Buhari directs Education Minister to proffer solution to ASU strike in 2 weeks. And power supply to drop again, TCN alerts Nigerians. Federal government unveils NNPC Limited as reaction trail alleged 278 naira PMS price hike. Oil marketers commend federal government on new future fault claims of pump price increment. Senate President leads delegation to condole with Senator Undume.
Okay, Tosi, we have a caller. Hello, Mr. Kingsley. Good morning. Hello, Mr. Kingsley. Are you there? Okay, I hope you call us before the end of the show. Tosi, please.
Still on the Nigerian News Direct, Senate President leads delegation to condole with Senator Ndume over father's death. And petrol product transporters decry unpaid bridging claims, high cost of diesel. Dangote Industries complete issuance of $187.6 billion Series 1 fixed rate senior unsecured bond. The last story, credit direct borrowing soars by 15.9% as asset decreased to 2.5 billion naira in 2021 financial result. We have 2 picture story on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct.
Hello, Larry from Ebonyi. Good morning.
Hello? Hello?
Mr. Larry,
Yes,
we
it
can
is.
hear you.
Yeah. What actually happened to Joyce? Yeah, I saw her picture on the screen this morning.
Okay, just wait shortly right now. We'll let you know more into that. Thank you so much, Mr. Larry. Just stay tuned to your TV set. You will know all about that. Thank you so much, Mr. Larry. Tosi, is that all we have?
Yes, that's all on the Nigerian News Direct.
Okay, and right at this moment, we'd like to play something very short.
That will vote, or the person that will bribe his way into power, give you money to bribe his way into power. Do you think that's the person that will provide health for you? Do you think that's the person that will provide a good economy or security for you? No, that person is going for a selfish reason, selfish ambition. The person that will sit down and say, okay, how can I come up with an agenda? How can I be prudent enough to see that, okay, I'm voted into power. This is what I will do. I will elevate poverty. I will bring people out of poverty. I will develop the country. I will bring security. I will have a good economy. Children will go to school. Isn't that the person that you will vote for? But we'll always look at who will bring the cash at the polling unit. Who will be able to give me how much? 1,000 naira or more to sell my vote for me to be able to vote this party so that they will be in power. Then later we'll start crying that there is hunger. Later we'll start crying that farmers are being killed. Later we'll start crying that we cannot even afford fees for our children. Who brought us into this mess? Our own self.
Thank you so much. We really have to, go back to, keep in touch with Joyce Yakwari. And, Tosi, she has actually been a great advocate talking about corruption, economy, and also security. This has been, I think, the center of, each time we bring out issues that are happening in the nation, she tends to, hammer so much on how we need to liberate people from poverty, how we need to secure the lives of Nigerians and also how we need to look into how we can, you know, bring out people from their suffering, talking about unemployment, talking about corruption of our leaders, you know, and looking at if we're going to go into the 2023 election, how ready are we to, you know, to bring in competent people? How ready are we to look at people that have this character we're looking out for? How ready are we to, you know, elect people that, you know, we can actually hold accountable at the end of the day? You know, there was a time she was talking about the fact that we are the ones who elect these people into office, but we're yet to realize the powers we have, and we've left the powers to the politicians. You know, it's really nice, you know, to keep in touch and know that so much has been done. And you know, our viewers have been asking what happened. You know, Joyce just had a brief illness, and actually that's what happened, you know. But then she's still with us, even though physically she's not here with us, but her spirit is still with us. You know, one of the callers said, Mr. Shamal from Kaduna spoke about how humble she was, how, you know, very vibrant she was about things that are happening, and the fact that we need to keep in touch and also keep in tune and also be ready, because you never can tell the time nor the hour that, you know, God will call us. But we're really happy that Joyce was really ready for whatever it is, and no wonder, you know, she was, you know, up and about, making sure that she keep everything in, you know, just like, you know, for people that will actually watch it, they say she was misunderstood. You know, if you work with Joyce, she make sure that you are working up and about. If you're given a time for something, make sure you deliver. You know, it's really something we miss her for, and we just want to let people know that she's still in our hearts. Because even if we mourn for ourselves, Joyce is in a better place. You know,
yes, Joyce is in a better place, and even while on earth, she fought the good fight. She won souls for Christ, and she impacted in the lives of people who she came across and even who came across her. But it's really hard to say goodbye to Joyce Iakwari, but I'm condoled that she's with the Lord, and I'll say rest in peace, Joyce Iakwari.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, it's really a very pleasant one, and we'll miss you, Joyce, but you know, we love you so much. God loves you more. Thank you so much to all our callers that called us this morning, to those who sent their condolences. We're truly grateful for those who contributed to the issues that are happening in the nation. Thank you so much to the ECWA executive. Thank you for, you know, you've rallied around us through this moment of pain, and you're still with us. Thank you so much to the ECWA executive. Thank you to all the crew that make sure that this program was a success. Until we come your way again tomorrow, do have a blessed day ahead.